it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right. We got a cool one for us today, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Our topic for today is selling. Why did I buy life insurance? What? Why did I buy life insurance? Before we get started, I wanted to say hello to my son. Say hi, son.
Hi, son.
That's my son, Dom. And so we're out and about getting ready to go to Mama's house. You know, today's her birthday. She's 75 years young. And, you know, if you get a chance to live to be 75 years old, that's pretty doggone cool. But we live in a world today where the pandemic's going on. People are dropping like flies. It don't matter. You can be healthy today and wealthy today and get in a car accident and then you die. People have swimming pools. They die in their swimming pool. People die for enormous amounts of reason. And it's really sad because, see, things happen. And so why I bought life insurance? A few years ago, probably about 4 years ago, I started thinking, well, maybe I need to buy some insurance because I had a little bit of health problems at the time, and I went to the doctors. I was weighing, close over 310 pounds. I was getting really heavy, having a hard time breathing. I was kind of scared, to be honest with you. And I went to the doctors, and the doctor said, well, you got to change everything. So I started going to the gym. You probably can't. I'm not no real skinny guy, but I said to myself, well, what do I need to do? So I started eating right. I started exercising. I started doing the things that I needed to do to have a more healthier lifestyle. And, our topic for today is, why did I buy life insurance? First off, for myself, I'm going to probably be cremated. The reason why is the less expensive way, but some people, they want to be buried. So if you're going to get buried, it's about between $10,000 and $15,000 for a decent burial. You're going to have your viewing and stuff, unless you have them in the military where they can take care of some of that, but still there are costs that go along with it, at least up to a couple of $1,000s. And a lot of families, once you retire and stuff, they don't have a lot of money. They're on a fixed income, so they need to be able to buy insurance at a good value. So remember, the younger you buy insurance, holy cow. You see my son, I bought insurance on him when he was just a little boy. He's got a bunch of insurance on him because it's less expensive, and I made sure that if something were to happen, because we live in the real world, guys, people don't want to talk about death. They want to talk about having a good time, partying, yay, but reality is, after this pandemic, I'm just going to say the writing's on the wall. You just don't never know. And with a lot of things going on that are out of our control, it's nice to know that if something does happen, because it always does when you least expect it. And a lot of times people, they don't have extra money in the bank when there's a need. I don't know about most people. I don't know many people who've got $10,000 or $15,000 in their bank account just to pay for an issue that could pop up at any time. And the reason why I bought life insurance was, I got a job selling life insurance, and I got insurance at the time because, you work in a way where you don't get paid until people buy stuff. And I bought what I could afford. And I come to find out, as an older person, man, you can't get as much as you could if you were in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s. And it can be more costly for large amounts of insurance. So what I've done was I bought what I could. And if I had to do it all over again, if you're watching this and if you're a younger person, you need to go ahead and get your insurance now. It doesn't cost a whole lot when you're young, but when you get to be in my age, I'm paying right now. I've got a policy on me that's a whole life policy that covers me in case I were to pass away. And it's got some extra stuff on it, and I'm only able to get so much insurance. Also, I've got accidental life insurance, which is a separate policy. So if I'm out and about and I get in a car accident, or if I die of an accident, it doubles. So, and that's only good up to age 75. Okay. So the money that you get and that you invest, you want to make sure that you talk with somebody like me. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am a real insurance person. I believe in insurance, and I bought insurance at first because I wanted to have some skin in the game. It's kind of hard to talk to people about buying insurance if you ain't got none. Okay, I mean, there's a lot of people that might be selling nice cars and stuff, and they can sell those, but after a while, they're going to have to get a nice car because it makes it easier for you to understand. Because people are on a budget. I'm on a budget. I sell real estate, and I also sell, insurance. And I'm going to tell you what, if you have a mortgage, if you have bills like I do, it's like I got to work my hiney off for every penny that I make. So I'm not trying to sell you something that I don't believe in, because see, I know this: if something were to happen to you, let's say for instance, if you have a mortgage on a home and you are paying about $1,500 to $2,000 a month, or maybe even $900, $1,000, or whatever your mortgage is, okay, can your significant other be able to pay that note if you were to pass away? Think about that. Are you going to be able to pay for are they going to be able to pay for it? What if your significant other were to pass away and you were the one who was left and they had no insurance? Are you going to be able to physically to be able to afford to stay in that home? Are you going to be able to pay the bills? Are you going to be able to take care of your kids? And you got to look at it like this. A lot of times when people pass away, their family members are tore up. Their minds are tore up. And if you have insurance in place, it really helps your family, for that transition. I'm serious, guys. If something happens to me, my son knows that he knows what I want. I want to be cremated. I want my ashes to go on the beach or the water or something. And I want him to take the money that's left over and put it in the bank, save up that money and put it or buy, put the money down on a new home. Some people, they're just getting enough insurance because when you get real old, you may be only able to get $5 or $10 or $15 or $20,000 worth of insurance because that's all you can afford. And by having that, at least that amount of insurance, it can guarantee that, hey, at least my debt can be taken care of. Because people, they don't want other people to pay their bills. They don't want other people to have to pay for them. Because, if you have a friend or a family member who passes away, it happens when you don't, when you least expect it. I had a best friend of mine, both his parents passed away when at least expected within a year's time. They had no insurance or anything, and it broke him. He had to put everything on a credit card. He had to finance their burial. And it was like they didn't have no GoFundMe, back then. That's been about 15 years ago. And I'm going to tell you what, it was expensive back then. It's even more expensive now. So why did I buy life insurance? Because I don't want to leave that debt or that burden on my parents. I don't want to leave that burden on my son. And I want to make sure that I can leave my son in a better place. At least because, see, right now he's going to college. He's living with me right now. And I want him, if something were to happen to me, to be able to maybe be able to get his own place, be able to afford to be able to pay, the bills until he can figure out if he's going to stay at my house or whatever. So what I'm sharing with you guys is that the reason why I bought insurance is because I wanted a peace of mind. I kind of wanted to be able to say, I don't want to put a burden on nobody. Now, you may be the kind of person who don't give a crap. Maybe you're a person who says, I don't care, when I'm dead, they'll just have to deal with it. But see, most people, if they have children, if they have a significant other, it doesn't matter. They have a wife or they have a husband, or if whatever your relationships are, they don't want to leave them in a bad situation. And people get sick. After the pandemic, a lot of people died. A whole bunch of people died. And I mean, it was sad. And a lot of times these people that died, their families had no insurance at all. And guess what? They had to suffer. They didn't have no job. It was in a bad time. Some of these people were retired. And it's really sad because if you're living on one income, it's rough. okay? But if you have bills and you got a lot of bills and you've got things you got to take care of, it's really, really rough without having that peace of mind. And I didn't want to leave that to my son. I didn't want my son to have to struggle. Because, see, my father, when he passed away, he didn't have any insurance. He didn't have anything, no legacy for me or anything. I just was like, okay, Dad, thank you. I appreciate it. But, see, he didn't have nobody who would talk to him about insurance. So that's what I do, is I talk to people about real stuff. I talk to people about real insurance needs, why we need to have insurance. You're going to die. I'm just going to say it like that. I know it's morbid, but in reality, you just don't know when. I don't know when. But it's better to be prepared. And see, a lot of times people say, well, I don't have the money. Well, if you smoke cigarettes, if you drink, if you have things that you like to do and you want to do, you find the money for that stuff. It's the truth. People will find money for things that they're really into. Maybe you got a nice car and you like to have cool rims and stuff like that. Well, it's good. It looks real good, but it's like it's fleeting. It's just like your health. You know, today, if you buy insurance, you could be in, not, you see, a lot, here's the thing. The insurances that I sell, you don't have to take a blood test. You don't have to take a urine test. You don't have to take and get a medical. Okay, so that's kind of nice. But let's just say, for instance, today I talked to you about getting some insurance. And you said, nah, I'll think about it. It's not enough. It costs too much. And then a month later, a year later, you come up with cancer. This has happened. I've seen it in my own life. I've had some friends of mine who had cancer and they're gone. And see, they didn't know. They had no idea. And see, if you are healthy, you can answer those questions the right way. Now, there are some friends of mine who had insurance. They bought insurance. The parent passed away. They had no idea that they had cancer. And it was like they got paid their big amount of money because they had that capability. And don't think it couldn't happen to you guys. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but I believe in insurance because I buy insurance and I sell insurance. I help people. You know, my job basically is, as an underwriter, is to come out there and see you, talk to you, find out what your why is. Why do you want insurance? What do you need to cover you? Why do you want to have insurance? And like I said, a lot of times people have personal things. They've got family members who have passed away, and they've seen for their own eyes what happened to them. And it's sad. It's really, they struggle. It ain't easy, especially when somebody passes away when you least expect it. And remember, guys, you should get insurance on your kids also. The cheaper, it's so inexpensive to buy insurance on children that they can have a whole life policy or insurance on for the rest of their life. And they can give that to their significant other if something were to pass, and they can go ahead and have, you know, that freedom. Don't just think about today. Think about what you're doing for your family, what you're doing. You're leaving a legacy. You're making sure that bills are paid. You're making sure that when it's tough, that, you know, at least give somebody 4, 5, 6 months of transition money to be able to have to move from that home. Unless you have mortgage protection where you've got it covered up, you know, for a big amount of money where they can actually pay the note until they can lower the price. Or just to have enough money to be able to walk away, you know, from a home with dignity. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am a real estate sales guy. I am an insurance sales guy. My telephone number is 904-662-8933. You can check out my free website at yourrealestatesalesguy.com and check out all the free home, or should I say all the homes that are available in Northeast Florida that are for sale, where you can get a great price on them. But you can also talk to me about your life insurance. If you live in Florida, if you live in Texas, if you live in South Carolina, I can help you with insurance. And remember this, guys, if you are a person who's getting ready to start selling insurance, you need to put some skin in the game. You need to buy some insurance on yourself and your family and your kids, so that way when it gets to be the tough times, because people, they're in a bind. They don't got a lot of money. They live within their means, and a lot of times they're living, really close. So I'm just saying, if you're going to try to sell to somebody who is not doing really, really good and has enough money to pay their bills and survive, and you're going to offer them a policy, you might want to think about getting it on yourself. The reason why I share that is because I look in people's eyes every day. I talk to people every day. And I want to make sure that when I leave a customer, I don't take advantage of those customers. I want them to be able to afford what they can afford, not any more than that. You want them to keep their insurance for the rest of their life. And again, when people are in their 50s, 40s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you ain't guaranteed another day. That old pandemic, it proved it right there, buddy. It proved it. It knocked out a lot of healthy people that were, young and in their 30s, 40s, 50s, all over the world. And it could have been even worse. It could have been really, really bad. So my simple job today was to have a conversation with you, tell you why I bought life insurance. And the reason why I bought life insurance is because I believe in it. I really, really do. And I want you and your family and your friends to have life insurance. I really do. Because, see, something's going to happen, and you want to say, you know what, that guy told me that I should have got insurance, and I'm so glad that Gary Lee talked to me about getting life insurance or mortgage insurance. It's really important, guys. It's not a joke. People are dying to see me. I know it's not funny, but it's the truth. And remember, you got to have this conversation, especially if you bought a new home. If you just bought a new home with your significant other, you definitely want to talk to me or an insurance agent. And my name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your sales guy and your insurance sales guy. We had a wonderful conversation today about why I bought life insurance, because I want to make sure that when I die, that my son doesn't have to worry about burying me. He knows how to take care of my needs and get me cremated, and he can grieve and have some money and be able to live his life and say, Dad thought about me. Hey, Don, what do you got to say? This is my son.
Hey guys, if you like this video, press that big thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys want to see next, and also enjoy the rest of the videos. Thank you.
All right, guys. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your sales guy. We just had a great conversation about why I sell life insurance, why I have life insurance. I believe in it, man. I really, really, really do. I've seen how it helps people, and I've also seen where when people said, well, I want to think about it, they didn't think about it, they died, and they left their families in a really, really bad place. And I know that's not you. So get you some insurance and go out there, if you're an insurance sales guy, and sell something. Be sincere and get some insurance on yourself. All right.